Porsche is in a crisis. I've reported on this numerous times, and this is not my personal opinion. This is simply a fact. Porsche's profits have collapsed. Literally, they've gone from 18% profit margins down to 6.8%. That's a fall of about 64%. That's crazy. Sales are going down. They're in a legitimate crisis. The German media reported on this hundreds and hundreds of times. And Porsche is saying, it's not our fault. It's the fault of electric cars. It's your fault. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. If you'd like to become a member, that'd be awesome. Supporting the channel, I would really appreciate it. I'll put a link in the description below to our YouTube member page, and I will have some new videos up there next week. Porsche is blaming electrification for its deepening crisis, and I don't know why they think that this makes sense. Electric car sales this year are up by around 30%, and it's not like Porsche's just selling cars in a market where EV sales aren't growing. They're selling cars. I mean, their most important car market is China. And EV sales in China are skyrocketing 52% this year, 52%. Porsche is struggling, though, amid changing EV demand. And I feel like I've mentioned this. Maybe I just thought in my head, but I think I have a few times, that strong competition in China, where high horsepower EVs are cheap and honestly, they're quite luxurious, it's hurting them. And the truth is, it's not slowing down. I mean, if you look at some of the models that are coming up, look at the video that I just did yesterday of the new XPeng P7 Ultra, and then there's other models like the Xiaomi SU7 Ultra. These are the kind of cars where you think to yourself, do I want to buy a Porsche Taycan, or would I prefer one of those for half the price or less than half the price? And to me personally, I kind of think to myself, all right, money is no object here. Let's say I'm a billionaire, wake up tomorrow morning, well, I'm a billionaire. Wow, this is great. Do I go out and buy a Porsche Taycan or a Porsche vehicle? Or would I buy something like what I just said, one of those other cars? And I would buy the other car, even if I had billions of dollars. To me, that's the biggest problem. Porsche does not have the technological capacity to compete with these companies, and customers know it. Porsche, they have recently they were one of the world's most profitable automakers on a percentage basis. They're not anymore, though. So they've reported, apparently they've delayed the arrival of a new wave of electric vehicle products, including the 718 Boxster and the Porsche Cayman replacements, and a 3-row electric SUV. Why have they delayed it? Well, according to a new report from Automotive News, the company's overly aggressive and inflexible electrification strategy is to blame. That's what they say. In Germany, the media are like, what the hell's going on at Porsche? Guys, what the hell's going on? You guys are just turning into a joke. And Porsche's like, well, it's not our fault. It's electrification. The report cites Fabio Holscher, analyst at Warburg Research, saying Porsche's goal of going 80% electric worldwide by 2030 is the reason. It's simply their goal. If they hadn't have had a goal of going 80% electric worldwide by 2030, then none of this would have happened. They would have been totally fine. That's what Porsche says. I'm very curious, guys. Do any of you agree with this? To me, my personal opinion is this sounds like something that a 6-year-old would say having a tantrum. That's how ridiculous it is. But, I know that not everyone agrees with my feelings and my sentiments. So I'm curious, do you guys, how do you see this? What are your thoughts on this? Because the battery electric adoption is behind schedule, Porsche now has to develop additional combustion models on top of dealing with the costly delays in EV ramp up, as well as managing the weak situation in China and uncertainty around US exports, Holscher told Automotive News. Porsche cut 2,000 research and manufacturing jobs across its German facilities in February, citing a delayed ramp-up of electromobility. So because electromobility ramp-up was delayed, they fired 2,000 people. Hang on a minute. Wouldn't you need them to kind of get electromobility, which is being delayed, to actually happen? Well, here's the thing. German labor costs are very expensive. Porsche is concerned. They know there's nothing they can do. They're being disrupted by other companies, and there's nothing they can do. The truth is, it's so expensive to make Porsches, and a lot of Porsches are made in Germany. Now its 2025 sales revenue goals have been cut by 2.2 billion US dollars. And that number could be, I think it's going to grow, considering Porsche doesn't make cars in America. Plus, 8,000 additional jobs are likely to be lost. Now, that was reported by German media publication, the main German publication that I often cite here on the channel. Holscher told Automotive News that it didn't have to be this way. If Porsche had adopted a more flexible production approach with more plug-in hybrids and shared platforms, such as BMW did, it would have been able to adjust more quickly to shifting trends in demand. I don't really understand that comment because the truth is most of Porsche's cars are internal combustion. So really, they only had the Porsche Taycan. Plug-in hybrids, I mean, honestly, who's going to buy a Porsche plug-in hybrid? I don't see that's going to appeal to anyone. It doesn't make sense. So, flagging EV demand, there's also stiff competition from China. Porsche's first quarter sales in China fell by 42% compared to the same period last year, 42%. And considering Porsche, their most important market is China. They've made the most profit and sales in China for many years. Well, it looks as though they could abandon the market entirely, China entirely, just leave. That's according to the brand's CEO. At the same time, the funny thing is, China's performance car market, performance EV market has been surging. The Xiaomi SU7 Ultra, I mean, we're looking at an 80,000 US dollar car from a car company that makes vacuum cleaners and scooters. It's sold out. Yangwang U9 with 4-figure horsepower. Really, that's the thing, guys. These high power performance luxury cars and just high power performance EVs are actually selling really well. But the Taycan, the Porsche Taycan, isn't. And what does that tell you? Porsche's biggest problem is China, said Gartner Vice President of Research Pedro Pacheco to Automotive News Europe. Can Porsche fix things? Apparently, it's changing its executive team. Basically, it's shuffling the seats on the Titanic, shuffling the deck on the Titanic. And apparently, the truth is, I think people in Germany already know what's happening. They know that Porsche will just become a niche player. They'll keep manufacturing sports cars. I'm sure there'll be a market of Porsche 911s. People love them, even if they're electric, whatever the case may be. I think Porsche will still continue. But the truth is, the majority of Porsche's profits don't come from making 911s. They come from SUVs. That's Porsche's biggest market. The most cars, the most profits come from SUVs. And there's just no reason anymore, in my opinion, especially in the long term, to want a Porsche SUV. There's nothing particularly good about them. There's nothing particularly technologically impressive about them. And that's not going to change any time soon. Now, I get there's going to be a lot of Porsche fans out there, including probably my brother, going to say, Sam, you shouldn't talk this way. This is sacrilege. You're just being a hater. But honestly, we've got to be realistic. And if you were to go to Germany, just spend a week there, read the German news media, I think you'll find I'm actually being overly optimistic about Porsche's long-term future.